What's going on, Star Wars fans? Welcome to Star Wars Doctrine. I wanted to talk to you guys today about a new comic that just came out, and it's the Age of Resistance issue, Captain Phasma. The Age of the Resistance is a cool comic series that's just going to focus on one character and a story about them at a time, which I think is really cool, and I think picking Captain Phasma is a really good choice since we don't have too much backstory on her. But I thought this was really cool, dark, gloomy kind of story that really fits into Captain Phasma's personality. I hope you guys will enjoy it. But one thing I thought was really cool about this is it takes place on a planet called Demir, or Demir. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's Demir. The cool thing about it is that this is a planet in the unknown regions. And we know that Snoke was really obsessed with the unknown regions, and that the First Order, tried taking over a lot of the planets in the unknown regions. We really haven't seen too much of that on screen or in stories. We just kind of know about it. So it's really cool to actually get a physical story where we learn about it. And this was, such a perfect comic and has such a cool twist and story. But like I said, it takes place on this planet called Demir in a battle against the Demirians. And Demir is nicknamed the Iron Planet. And it's kind of interesting because the soldiers, all of the Demirians, actually look like they're made of iron or metal of some sort. It's kind of an interesting character that I don't think we've ever really seen in Star Wars before. Really makes me wonder what is out there in the unknown regions and how many things we don't know about. But the battle scene's really cool. You see Phasma out there on the front lines, just kicking everybody's butt and leading all of her stormtroopers. And then out of nowhere, the Demirians have a ship that lays a big blow to the squad of stormtroopers and just actually decimates like almost all of them. And Phasma makes it out alive and meets up with another soldier who's, I'll call her KM for sake of time, but her full name is actually KM-8713. Anyways, so that's her name or her number. And she actually picks up a wounded soldier who's one of her friends and starts, carrying the stormtrooper out of battle. They're trying to make it to safety. And just then, right by Phasma, her and her wounded friend, a thermal detonator lands there. And Phasma, without hesitation, grabs the wounded soldier, throws him on top of the thermal detonator so that he'll take the impact. And it kills the wounded soldier, and Phasma and Cam are able to make it out alive. I thought it was like a super brutal, unexpected, twist and turn. But Phasma didn't even hesitate. She was willing to do what it took to survive, which I thought really added some depth to her character. She didn't care that this was KM's friend or that this was one of her soldiers that was wounded. She just wanted to make sure she made it out alive. So she sacrificed that person for her life, which, she's willing to do what it takes to get things done and to make sure that she comes out of it alive. But pretty dark thing for your commander to do. Makes you wonder, how many stormtroopers knew that she was like this and felt that she didn't care about them. But moving on in the story, Phasma sits down with Cam and is asking her, why on earth were you trying to save that wounded soldier anyways? And Cam's like, oh, I thought that's what, you would have wanted me to do. And Phasma's like, why would you think that? And anyways, we find out that Cam really looks up to Phasma and wants to be just like her, and a lot of these stormtroopers do because they don't know really the dark side of Phasma. But Phasma basically tells Cam, hey, I'm gonna promote you because I think that you have what it takes to be like me. And it makes Cam's day. She's super happy and excited to fight next to Phasma. Gets to go, be in command with her, be like her first officer. And as the next battle comes, they're preparing to make a siege on this base. And Phasma has Cam tell all of her troops to go to the door of this base and try and draw out the Demirians. So they do, and as the Demirians come out, TIE fighters start flying overhead. And Cam realizes the only reason Phasma wanted to draw them out was to bomb them with the TIE fighters. And as they do that, Cam realizes all the stormtroopers are dying as well. And it's like, wait, we got to stop this. And Phasma's like, no, this is the risk we take. This is what it's going to take to win. We're going to sacrifice all of our troopers, but we're going to win. And Cam then totally realizes that Phasma set her up and really just didn't care about her or promoting her or any of her troopers. And Phasma explains to her that she only promoted her basically so that she was the one that ordered the troops there, and that it kind of looked like she's the one that sacrificed the troops. So in the end, she would look bad, Phasma would look good, but they would win the battle, so it would look like Phasma got it done. And so it's kind of a big plot twist there. And Cam gets so upset with Phasma, realizes that she doesn't want to be like her at all because she's, totally engulfed in the dark side, really. And she turns on Phasma, shoots her actually, and the bullet deflects off of Phasma's special armor. And Phasma basically tells her that that's what it takes. You have to do whatever is required to win, and says that I'm not afraid to do what needs to be done. And she actually ends up shooting down KM and leaves her to die. And KM's begging her. She said, "Don't leave me." And Phasma just basically said, "I can't see my goal if I'm looking over my shoulder, KM." And then she says, "I'm a survivor," and leaves her to die. So it was very, disturbing, yet just kind of dark endings. But I thought it was very fitting for Phasma's character. It kind of made me think of the deleted scene in Episode 8, The Last Jedi. If you've seen it, basically when Finn exposes that Phasma is the one who shut down the shields on Starkiller Base in Episode 7 and let all of those troopers die on Starkiller Base, that blood was on her hands, and that she was a coward and only cared about herself. Some of the stormtroopers hear that and actually start to turn on Phasma, and Phasma just kills them all, showing once again that she didn't care about anyone but herself, didn't want that secret to get out, was willing to sacrifice as many lives as she needed to make sure that she stayed in command. And, she just only cares about one thing, has one goal, and doesn't care what gets in her way. I think it adds a lot of depth to Phasma's character because we need a menacing villain like that. And I think it's too bad that the movies didn't get to display that a little more, because I think that really adds a lot of good depth to her character. I think it's really cool. I enjoyed the comic a lot. Thought it was cool to explore the unknown regions a little bit more, and just to see some of the battle scenes just felt like Clone Wars-y to me in a good way. Lots of just blasters and getting down into the front lines of the war. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learn about this comic. I look forward to the future comics. I'm going to try and make sure I keep you updated on all of them, do little videos explaining what happens in them. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. Hope you guys are too. Hope you guys have a great week. May the Force be with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because
it is your destiny.